All right. Hey, bro.
Hey man, how's it going?
It's pretty decent, man. Pretty decent. So,
Excellent.
uh, I'm doing this chatty thing for, every once in a while, or trying to do it once a week. As I said before in another video, hopefully you watched. I'm here with Bro again, and he's doing a captain's draft league, which, what does
Yep.
that mean? When the hell does captain's draft even mean, bro?
So, so Captain's Draft is a game mode, just like Captain's mode of Dota, right? So,
Yeah.
I believe it was. Well, I believe Sunsfan was the one who developed it. I don't know if that's actually true, but I know he's typically associated with it. And so, the difference between Captain's Draft and Captain's Mode is that in Captain's Draft, there's a random selection of 27 heroes
Yep.
that come through. So you and there's no, it's just RNG. So it's just a random pool, 27 heroes, and each captain has 3 minutes total of pick and ban time. So you have one clock. There's no like 30, what is it, 30 or 40 seconds per pick, and then you have 2 minutes of overtime basically that you can use across your picks and bans.
All right.
So it's just 3 minutes, and you make all your bans. You make all 3 bans in the beginning, so that you only get 3 bans instead of the 6 that you get in captain's mode, and you do all 3 in the beginning. So basically, you do it's like doing phase 1. The first set of bans in captain's mode, and then after that it's just picks. You're just picking 5 heroes each. So of that 27, you're picking 10, and then you're banning 6.
That's so there's just hardly any heroes in the pool.
Yes.
That's
Yeah. So
what it comes down to.
yeah. So it's definitely, for me, I like it. It's a really fascinating mode for me because I'm the drafter for my team, right? Our team. And so for me, it's really fascinating trying to put together different lineups with like a very limited set of heroes. And I find that like a really interesting challenge. Because you got to like very quickly identify, okay, like, these are the heroes we want to target, and like see like are there like, what are the counters that are still available for this and stuff like that. So so it's interesting because you also like, you don't necessarily pick the same way you would captain's mode, because like captain's mode, a lot of people pick like supports in the first, say, 3 picks usually. In this, you almost want to pick cores up quickly because you don't want to get them taken by the other team, right? And then you get to the last pick and there's no cores left just because of the number of heroes, right?
Yeah. I'm following you. I like it. That sounds it's cool. It's definitely gonna widen people's pools of who they're gonna be and or pick and all that stuff. That's neat.
Yeah. So the other thing we're doing too is we're keeping it fairly limited this year, or this season, I should say. So it's just going to be NA servers, so NA teams. We just 2 divisions. So basically, high skill division and then a lower skill division, and then group stages is going to be really quick. We're just going to do best of ones, and then playoffs we'll get into, like, it'll be single elimination playoffs with best of 3s, and then probably best of 5 final. Still a little debate on how many teams are going to go, especially with we got to see how many teams sign up. So far we got 6 that have registered today.
Okay.
Ideally we'd like at least 16, so about
In each division or just total?
Well, each division would be ideal. It would be great if we could get 16, but if we could get 16 total
All right.
across, so like 8 in each would be fantastic, I think, for this first season. So yeah, we're hitting Reddit, trying to get the advertising out, and we got a lot of people helping out. Actually, a few guys from Echo League that are like admins and stuff have been helping out a lot with advice and just saying like, yeah, go ahead and use Echo League to advertise this. So, which I think is pretty cool of them.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So So yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to see how this goes. Because there's not, all the leagues that are out there, they're all captain's mode to follow the pro scene, which I think is cool, right? But I find, like I said, I think captain's draft is a really fun mode, and I think it's a nice switch up from a lot of the other leagues for people. And like I said, it's meant to be really quick. I mean, this is like at max, the max amount of time I want this to take is like 8 weeks. Whereas, like, other tournaments are taking like 6 months to run, other leagues.
That sounds hard to do with scheduling and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
hopefully it runs through.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see what happens, though, right?
That's exciting. All right, we're gonna go a little bit longer here. I'm gonna pull up. We just had an update. Are we getting these every 2 weeks? How often are these patches happening?
Yeah, every Ice Frog said, I don't know when it was, like 2 months ago now. It was they were switching to it basically every 2 weeks for the next 6 months, I think he said, and then they're going to reevaluate what if that's working, or if it's or if changes, more changes need to be made with how they release updates, because they wanted to get away from basically the big, huge patch updates.
Yeah, well, because nobody was testing them out too, and they put them in the test area, whatever. They had like the beta. I guess they still have the Dota beta.
Yeah,
most people weren't playing it, so they didn't know if they worked or didn't work, and so.
Yeah, no, I think this is nice, because honestly, like some of those big updates, especially, like,
yeah,
it was just so much to digest, and like it felt like to me like it was like 2 weeks, or like 2 weeks or more of just like total anarchy in matchmaking. Or like people were just like, they don't know how to play. It's like everyone forgot how to play because they're like trying to like internalize all the changes, that it's just like it's like a whole new game. Versus I like this, it's much more concise with the changes, and I think it's a little bit better targeted, and I think it keeps things like, you can see like if a hero starts to get a little bit too good, you can knock them down a little bit, and then you can keep it nice and even. That's the one thing I like about Dota, right? Is that the Ice Frog has always tried to keep it so that every hero is relevant. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's always some that are more than others, but like keeping every hero relevant is like, I think, is super huge. Like, and it's not something you see in a lot of these other MOBAs, right?
Yeah, it's hard. It's super hard to do. So it's definitely a good way to do it. I really like how they've the layout of how they give us the numbers that I can just switch back and forth and click on things. This is a great update too.
Yes. Yeah, having that in game is amazing, and that you get the notification for it.
Yeah, the little eye, if you haven't checked on a character when they're playing with it, if you haven't read them yet, you click on the eye and you can see the updates that happened to them. It's just it's super nice. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, because I mean, how many times do you see people like jump in, like, I haven't played in a while, what's this? Are there any changes?
Sometimes you take literally months off, Yeah. Literally, and in this case it's just 2 weeks. I haven't played for a week sometimes, and like, okay, what do I have to deal with now? You don't have to read this necessarily. You can just read with the heroes that you're dealing with and move on.
Yeah.
Feels pretty good. I've played a little bit, and I've scanned through the list, and I've watched some of the tournament games. So everybody's picking Lesh and Slardar. This is not Slardar right now.
Yep.
Since the update, but that's all I really know what's going on. Is there anything notable in here that stood out to you?
So Slardar 100% stood out to me. I think it's funny that it's such a small change, right? So it was just Guardian Sprint, right? So it no longer has the damage amp, and the cooldown was reduced by 2 seconds, which,
Shit.
is good, which is pretty good. I mean, that's not massive, that 2 seconds, but the 15% damage amp makes him so much more viable in fights, because usually what you're doing, right, with Slardar was like the hero basically became you get a blink dagger, you blink in, you blink in, you stun, right, and then you gotta like hit your guardian sprint to get the hell out of there as soon as you can, or like force staff yourself out or something like that, right?
Yep.
Well, now he's actually not as dependent on getting a blink dagger. You can make plays because you can guardian sprint it without taking extra damage, right?
Yeah, that's makes you much more useful than before because you're afraid of getting blown up.
Exactly, and in the laning state, like you can dive towers more effectively too. Like you're not going to be like I said, that 15% damage amp is unreal, and remember that's all damage too. So,
yeah, but he moves through everything though when he was sprinting. It felt like an okay balance to me before. So I don't know if this is OP or not, but
yeah, well, I think it's. I still think it's. I think it makes it. He was not viable prior to this change, and now he feels pretty damn good to me. So I'm interested to see if you see him more and more on the pro scene. But I do think this actually, even though it seems small, I think it's a huge change to actually make the hero viable again in the current meta. So that was one that stood out to me, and then. What was the other one you mentioned?
Leshrac is getting played a lot lately.
Yeah, I see. Like those buffs are nice. I still don't know if he's. I guess I'd have to see him played and play him a bit myself to see how much better he feels. But you can see. I mean, he's gotten buffs now. What three of the last 4 patches?
Yep.
So, he definitely IceFrog wants to make him viable. We'll see what actually happens though. He's still an awkward hero though, because he's not. I guess it's not obvious to me like where his strong suit is, right? Is he a strong 4? Is he a strong 5? Is he a strong, mid laner, safe laner, off laner?
Be a 1 or what's usually mid? That's a 3?
Mid is a 2.
I think he needs to be a 2 or a 5. I think he can't really play the other. I don't think he can be a 1.
Yeah, so to me, he's one of those heroes. So he's like an OD, right? So OD is not necessarily item dependent. OD is level dependent, right? You need to get a lot of levels on OD to make him just unreal, right? Leshrac is the same, so that's why it's sort of awkward. Like if you play him as a 5, right, you're not going to be leveling as quickly. You're not going to be getting as much XP. But then if you play him a more greedy role, it's like, well, is he better than other heroes at that role, right? Is always how I view heroes. It's like, okay, I could play him as a mid laner, as a position 2, but honestly, I think there's better position 2s out there.
Yep. He's squishy until you get that strength talent. And then he's okay.
Yeah.
So if you basically when you're playing him as a 5, you're just kind of nuking, keeping slowing and stunning and running and hiding and cowering for your life. And the 2, hopefully you don't get blown up right away.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually the another one that I was targeting too. That piqued my interest again. Another small change, but may actually make her viable is Mirana. Did you see the damage range was changed?
Now I did.
Yeah,
I haven't read this actually at all yet.
Yeah, so her damage range got tightened up. So before it was like 39 to 50, which is a pretty wide spread, and now it's 43 to 48. So a little bit lower on the top end, but much higher on the low end. So it makes her. So one of her problems in laning phase was always last hitting. So she may actually be more of a viable core now with the ability to hit with more consistent damage through the laning stage.
It's such a big spread. Do most heroes have that big of a range of randomness?
No, CK I believe still has the highest.
Okay.
I'd have to look him up right now to see what his is.
It definitely makes it harder to play hero when that damage varies that much because you don't know. It's like when I play sniper and I'm hoping to get that headshot just to get that last hit because I know I'm not going to have enough damage compared to the other one for the deny. So you pray for it and you just set them up for an easier deny.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, so CK, so I'm looking at it right now. So CK's attack, his attack is 51 to 81.
All right.
So he's 30 damage variable, which makes sense, right, for the hero.
Oh, that's such a variable damage. And then with a random crit on top of that, you know, at some points that's just weird.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so no, like I said, much more viable. You have like just looking at some of the other mid laner, like SF is 35 to 41. But obviously he's, you know, you're going to get souls, so you'll stack on that damage.
Yep. I haven't seen Pangolier played yet.
Oh yeah, in the pro, yeah, I haven't really caught much of the DAC, to be honest. Been checking out some reruns, but yeah, I would anticipate most teams are going to stay away from him. Until they can figure out where to. Because I'm sure a lot of the guys, like, because you normally see him play like off lane. I'm sure a lot of the off laners haven't really practiced him just because he's not in the mode.
Yep.
But now that he is, I'm sure you'll see it more and more. Like that's what you're seeing Dark Willow picked up more consistently now. Now that after she became in the captain's mode, you know, it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, I've just been seeing some like. So the pro, he does everything better than me, right? There's no question about this, except like basic mechanics of a Dark Willow. I've put a lot of games in Dark Willow, and sometimes they're just like, they have no targetable stuns, or I mean, they only have targetable stuns, and she doesn't Shadow Realm and TP out when she would save her life. Like, I'm seeing the pros do this like on a consistent basis, just choosing not. They just don't know it's there or something. Like they've really not. Yeah, I can play this hero, right? They've practiced the hero. I really, you know, which just it's like mixing a free throw shot in basketball. Like, come on, guys. It's basic. Just play a game on her before you go. You know, make my team lose.
Yep. For sure.
Look bad because you don't know how to play her. I want Dark Willow to do well. It's personal pride. Ricky, Tricks of the Trade thing, I got to play a game of this last night, and it felt, okay, Ricky's basically lost team fight ability because he doesn't hit every hero.
Yeah, which I think was...
He's better at picking off, like, immensely. Like, being able to hit people twice as much when you're trying to just snag somebody out of place. He's definitely more of that... the role he used to feel like he played all the time, where you're a lone support, you're probably going to die if Ricky finds you now with his ult.
Yeah, true. Okay. I was interested to see how it goes, and like you said, that's exactly what it seemed like. Is it's more for pickoff. The other nice thing I think about it too is that now it'll hit creeps now too, so you can actually use it to farm.
Yeah, but yeah, you can. It still hits a creep, so it doesn't feel as good. So you can't farm like multiple creeps, you know, unless they're all low health and you're just trying to snag it.
Here's a question. So does his in Tricks of the Trade, do you get, if you have a Battle Fury on Ricky, does the cleave damage proc?
Yeah.
When you're in your ulti?
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, it at least used to. I didn't have Battle Fury last game, but I got the Basher, and the Basher. Definitely. Yeah,
I know the Basher procs. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Battle Fury procs. People used to buy that crazy on them. Maybe they changed it so it doesn't, but they stopped because it just wasn't worth when you could get a bigger damage item with the backs because it's automatic backstab.
Well, yeah, and he's an awkward hero too because he's not good enough to be a carry.
Yeah.
But he needs a lot of farm to be an actual effective support. So, that's what makes him awkward. So this actually, yeah, I'd be interested to see if we see some carry Ricky, or I don't even know, maybe even some offlane Ricky.
I think we're going to see more roaming Ricky. I just think he's going to be more successful because now he's going to do his normal sight wandering off map. But if you're that support walking from point A to point B, you're going to be scared. So he's going to control a lot more of the game in that sense. I think he'll be a big difference. Kind of like he's more of a bounty hunter out there. Like he might just blow you up.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, there are a lot of interesting changes in this. The other one was IO, right? So the tether no longer has a duration, which I think is unreal. Like,
Oh, that I always felt that needed to happen. That's cool. I didn't know.
I completely agree, right? Because you're basically always tethering whenever you can.
Yeah. And
Anyway,
it randomly ends in a team fight. Like, you want to tether to help your. You do nothing. IO does basically nothing except support, right? And you're tethering to your ally, and then as soon as it's on cooldown, they attack. And you're like, well, I want to give them regen, but I can't. So you just kind of sit there.
yep. Yeah, no, I think it's a really cool change, and it actually makes it really interesting for him with certain heroes.
Uh-huh.
So like Lycan, he can now pair up with like some of these high movement speed heroes, like even a Slardar, right? So Slardar, when he's going 700 movement speed down the river.
Yeah, well, we didn't mention that, or we didn't directly say that. You inferred it. I didn't.
Or yeah, sorry.
Realize that. So tether now sets your movement speed to match the tethered targeted speed. So
Yes.
yeah, you get hooked to a Lycan, you are booking, or to a Lycan creep. So there's all kinds of plays that can happen because Lycan can ult, and all those creeps go really fast. So you just get on one of those and go to the other side of the map for some unknown reason.
Yeah, so there's a lot of these like high mobility heroes that were never great pairings for IO that now really open up. So like a Weaver, Weaver plus IO is pretty sick. Like I don't know, like I'm just thinking of like all these high movement speed heroes, but like Invoker, Ghost Walking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just I think it's pretty cool.
Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see
yourself too. I think this is going to be more of it'll definitely be an initiation thing, but it'll be partially like IO needs to get out of there, so Invoker Ghost Walking near him just makes him move incredibly fast too, so he's okay.
Yep, agreed.
That is cool. I think that will hopefully I need to play more IO with us and see how that works out. I tried doing it with Kevin, but Kevin likes to wander off and do his own thing and then call upon you randomly.
Yeah, I hear you. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of any others stood out to me. The PA Stifling Dagger change was cool. So you can now target spell immune heroes. So you get the physical damage proc, but you don't get the slow, which I still think is pretty cool.
That is cool. That's maybe a little overpowered.
The
being able to not have to worry about Stifling Dagger when I turned on BKB.
Yeah. The Phoenix Supernova. What'd you think of that? I know you're a Phoenix player. You love Phoenix, so.
Oh, no. I still think this, the Meteor Hammer Phoenix thing is super good. Oh, the thing's buggy. I kind of click on it with my middle mouse button pushed, and it just kind of zooms up. And now I got to get back to alphabetical order. All right, so I didn't know about this. This is cool. This is good.
Yeah.
The duration. Okay, Supernova now turns night into day for the duration. That is interesting. That is a direct counter, or it's super helpful, That's a buff to GF or whatever, GH or whatever his name is.
GH, yeah, for with Coddle, right? Yeah, I think that's interesting. I still don't know. I mean, because that pairing to me is super weak. Phoenix plus Coddle, right? I mean, there's like literally no lane support essentially. Mm-hmm. So, but it is definitely a counter to Night Stalker. So, right, you can go into team fights and you can, you basically egg and you take away all the power of that Night Stalker in the fight, which is nice. Mm-hmm. But again, I mean, Night Stalker isn't really played too much right now anyway. So,
yeah,
how good is that?
Luna, who else benefits from Night? The Wolf, the Howl. So there's little things. I'm sure the pros will be able to mess with each other with this. I don't think our level will be able to, but the radius increase is nice.
Yep.
You're so vulnerable as that egg.
Yeah, if you don't get everybody, if you don't like, there's so many heroes with high attack speed now that it's hard to survive. Like, you can't just dive into the middle of a fight. You got to be very careful about your placement.
Mm-hmm. You got to get slows on everybody. You got to be level 2. just to be secure on the egg. If you're level 1 on the egg and you hit people with slows and there's 2 heroes around you, they're gonna slowly click you to death and you're still gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got some support, you got to stun them, follow up or whatever, that is great. But you're usually diving so far in that it's they can't get to you in time.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll help. I wonder if does he kill trees? So Supernova destroys trees. Is it 1,000 radius? Is it now 1,300 radius? Is this like monkey? This is a Monkey King is never gonna play against the Phoenix now because of this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was always tough for Monkey King into Phoenix. I mean, because you can scout with the Sunray.
Yep.
You can obviously Icarus dive, break trees pretty easily. Also to scout.
It doesn't give you flying vision though, right? You just hit the target.
Yeah, you gotta hit the target. Yeah, within the whatever the vision range of it is.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't give you flying vision, but it gives you.
Damage vision, whatever that is.
I don't know what this. Yeah, it's like Wave of Terror from what's her face, but like a smaller view window from Venge.
Okay, yeah, Venge gives you sight, just not flying, right? Maybe it gives you flying. I don't know. It gives you sight.
I don't know if it gives you. I don't know if it doesn't give you flying, but it'll get like if you hit Monkey King with the Wave of Terror, you'll see him get hit with it. I don't know, but yeah, I think it's. I mean, the radius I think is really nice because you gotta run much further away, right, to get away from the stun.
Yep.
And the damage. I mean, the damage was, does stack up.
Yeah,
but
if you can get them to be stuck in it, but most people are out of it.
Yeah, but
it's definitely a better zoning tool than before.
But yeah, the zoning ability of it is really good. So yeah, the day thing. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm sure some pros will come up with some pretty cool strats with it, but I think it's cool. I think it is. Phoenix to me is a hero that I love to play as well, and I think it'd be nice for him to be a little bit more viable. He just needs a better the fire spirits. I think the real change that needs to happen is it needs to be unit targetable versus ground
fair
than ground targetable. I think if they made that change, I think Phoenix would be a way better support.
Oh yeah, but like I said, that would be unfair if you don't miss with those the fire spirits are dodgeable. That's why most people dive and do the fire spirits because they take time to hit travel time.
Yeah,
you can easily dodge them whether you're close or far away, but I think that would be so OP because you hit people with those fire spirits, any kind of right clicker, they just hate you. They just hate you because they.
Yeah, you'd be more annoying, but I don't think that's OP by any stretch, right?
Oh, I don't know. It's like you turn her into the deer chick, whatever her name is. You turn Phoenix into that potential constantly.
I mean, no. Enchantress attack speed slow is much higher, isn't it?
No, I don't. You know what?
Now I gotta look.
I think it's so. I don't think so.
Now I gotta look it up. Hold on, let me see. So the attack speed, untouchable. So it's 140. So actually, it's the same. So 140 at max level.
Nice. And then what's the bottom of her attack speed slow?
What was it? 20.
Or bottom? Is it always 140?
No, there's 20. 20 is level 1. So 20 up to 140.
Yep. His level 1's 80 on his fire spirits. And it gets the 140. It doesn't scale as well past 1 except for damage. Most people use it, I think, for damage after that. But
yeah. Well, so maybe. All right. So maybe you nerf. Well, no. So maybe you nerf the attack speed a bit.
Yeah.
But you still if you made it unit targetable and then you just you nerf the attack speed slow a bit, I think that would make him really sad, good to play in the lane. I don't know. Anyway, we're getting off topic, I guess.
We're
speculating.
A little long, so we're gonna.
There weren't any others that really stood out to me. I mean, there's some small changes that were nice to help out some heroes, but as far as making them like good again, we'll see, right? Like Ember Spirit got an armor increase of 1. You know, we'll see. So some small buffs that I'm not really sure like what's going to happen, right?
Yep, stacking camps gives you a little bit more extra money as a support now. Is it 20? Is it 20% at the top? Neutral creep
I didn't see that.
Increased from 15 to 20%.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Nice little another buff to support players
For doing your job.
Yeah, that feels good.
Yeah, it does. It makes you feel. It definitely makes it different. Teaching people the, or rewarding them for correct mechanics.
Yep.
Feels pretty good. And it's funny. I stack a camp, and sometimes like 8 minutes later, you start getting the gold from it, and you're on the opposite side of the map, and you forgot about it. You're like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, right. You're like, where is this random gold coming from? Oh yeah. Oh man.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up. So you have a fancy thing going on of Captain's Draft, and we want everybody to sign up if you're watching or whatever, and check it out, try it out. Is there a fee involved?
No fees. We not charging anything. Like I said, we prizes. We do have prizes, so we're gonna give custom shirts. So yeah, if you scroll down just a little bit, yeah,
Far down.
you already went past it.
All right.
Right there. Down a little bit. It's just below the Discord on the right side of that page. If you scroll down just a little bit more.
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're not seeing it there.
I can't see it there.
My
Yeah.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, custom shirts. So for the champs, so there'll be like CDL shirts. We'll give you custom handles. We'll probably put your team logo if you want on there. Haven't worked out all the logistics on that, but yeah, we thought that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, you get a special tag in the Discord, and then there will be. We're hoping for a prize pool, but we're right now talking with a potential sponsor. We don't have any commitment one way or the other, so we're obviously not going to talk about that just yet, but that's the goal. So yeah, we want this to be rewarding for everyone. We don't see any reason to charge anyone at this point, so everybody's an amateur.
All right, so then my next video that I haven't, or I'm going to be with Bro about, hopefully I'm going to talk about how I get the voices up, or you get the Discord name to pop up when somebody's talking, so you can identify with the character and all that stuff, which I feel is very cool of Discord to implement such a thing, and I think it really helps with if you're deciding to record anything or cast anything, if you can have the names constantly pop up on the screen of who's talking, because it's so confusing. All our voices sound the same, honestly. To help identify that, and we can test that and go over with Bro, and then maybe something else. We'll figure it out once it gets there, but that's a tease.
Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to stop it. Here we go.